Hey, you guys, and we're live. I'm sorry about that extended hold. We actually have a person gonna be interviewing, and my dog is going crazy outside. We have actually a special guest, Mr. Marcus Wright, CEO of the Right Mentality. Phenomenal guy. We're going to be coming live from Chicago. He's negotiating some Chicago traffic right now, so he'll be coming on shortly. But until then, I want to talk to you about something. I was talking to one of our producers yesterday about products, as you know, here at the Insight Report. We're all about how you can actually grow your business, create a better life for yourself, and be happier, as well as bringing you current events with a touch of humor. Sometimes we try and make it a little humorous as much as possible on some of the things going on today. But I say that to say, what is the end goal? When we're looking at being on social media, and of course, social media normally is with our social circles. So, what is the goal? Because I was talking to one of our producers yesterday, and he was talking about a friend of his has a YouTube channel, and he was talking about he was looking at running ads on like a bus or something. And he was looking at running ads on doing ads on park benches. I think even thinking about getting a billboard. And he was like, or should he buy some YouTube ads? And he was like, people were saying, well, YouTube ads are going to be seen by more people. And he started mentioning to his friend the fact that maybe not, because YouTube ads, you're going to be seen by people in your social circle. And I want to show you guys what I'm talking about here. If I can bring this up, let me see if I can bring this up. I thought it was really interesting because he was talking about his friend was really excited because he had did something on YouTube and he saw it on the front page. And he called him and he said, hey, yo, my thing's on the front page of YouTube. I'm going to get so many people wanting to buy my service. And his friend was like, I don't see it. And so, let me show what I'm talking about here. Some of you guys can actually see this. This was actually a live I did with Tandra Price, the CEO of Tapped In Magazine. I'm not sure if hopefully you guys can see this. And right here, where it says Inside Report, interview Dr. Tandra Price on Stage Plus. But now let me explain to you. So you see that there, and with my wife, I said, "Look, you got to see it." And she went to YouTube. She was, upstairs, and she said, "I don't see it," because she was logged into her YouTube account. And so what YouTube is showing me wasn't what it's showing her, and if it wasn't showing her what it's showing me, it's not going to show other people what I think they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? It's personalized results. So I'm following the Inside Report. I'm watching the Inside Report. I'm deep in these Inside Report streets, right? But I didn't want to don't get that confused with people actually seeing you. So I had firsthand experience. So I was talking to the guy, I said, something like that happened to me too. And I took a screenshot. I was like excited. I said, okay, we making traction. We just started to report about a week ago, and already YouTube's recognizing what we doing. They picking up what we putting down. And it was not the case. It was all just for an ego boost for me. It wasn't really being seen by anybody else but me. So I say that to say, if you're doing social media, just understand your circle's going to see it. Your circle, primarily our circles, and when I'm talking to you, I'm really talking to myself as well. We have to remember that people mostly that are in our circles are not primarily going to be people that buy from us. They're not. Family and friends may love us, wish us well, but they're not going to be the people that primarily spend with us. Not saying family and friends won't spend with you, because I'm sure some will. But that's not going to be your primary go-to. You're not going to be able to go to your family, your friend over and over and go, hey, I've got this opportunity. I've got this opportunity. They may have needed a service or a product that you're doing, but they don't need it every day. So you need to find people that are going to be buying your stuff on a consistent basis, which means you need to reach outside of your social circle. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that you're going to need to go and buy Google AdWords? Or you're going to need to go and buy ads on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I was just talking to our team a little while ago before we went on the air, and we're trying to figure out what's the most cost effective way to actually buy advertising to get in front of those people that don't know us. Because when it comes down to it, we need to be in front of people who are going to buy our product on a consistent basis or our service. That service being advertising on television, that service being mentorship, that service being buying our merchandise, our seminars, our community, advertising to links and access to our media partners. So we need people that are going to want to be in those spaces. And chances are a lot of our people in our friends and family group are not going to need that service, at least not on a consistent daily basis. So how do you figure it out? I got an email, text this morning. Actually, my phone's not here, and it was saying, "Hey, we've got this value, $400 for this thing, 500. You know, they break it down. This is worth 400. This is worth 500. This is worth this, and this." And then they go, "Yours for $47 today." And you got to wonder, $47 today, is that really what the value is? They say, normally this is going to be $4,000, but $47 you buy it today. So I start to wonder, is there some BS here? How you going to discount something that's so great to something that's so minimal? He's in traffic right now. So I'm live. He's in traffic. So, yep. So I did send him the link from your phone. So, you know, we got to just do our due diligence. We got to just go in there and say, where do we need to be? I was also talking to our mentor. Everybody should have a coach. First of all, everybody should have a coach. Always have somebody who can be objective and can look from the outside in at what you're doing. Sometimes we're so close in at what we're doing, we think this is really good. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, everybody's gonna want this. And you need somebody on the outside going, no, because you need to fix this, this, and this. But you always want to temper the medicine with a little bit of sugar. I've found that over the years. You can't just go and tell somebody, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Because by nature, our defensive, we go, what you talking about? I'm talking to you. Take my egg over here. You know, we got to be able, be able to say, you know what? Okay, I like this. Point out the positives. This was good. But if you fix this, this, and this will help in these areas. You got to be able to give people a little bit of sugar as they take the bitter with it. So, going back to what I was saying, how do we do our due diligence? How do we find out what's really real and what's not? Because there's a lot of BS out there saying, you know what, we've got the formula. We can get it fixed. We can do this. I was looking at this, matter of fact, I was reading, well, I'm still reading this book, which is why it's right over here, right? I kid you not. It's a great book. It's $30 on Amazon. He said you got to put in the work. He said all the funnels, all the tips, all the hacks, nothing is going to work unless you put in the work behind it. Probably about 2 years ago, we were getting ClickFunnels. We created a ClickFunnel. And now that same thing is $200 a ClickFunnel. At the time, it was $97 a month. And I was like, wow, we went through the whole program, the whole ClickFunnel challenge, and we did all this stuff. We had the thing. And then the guy said, now, the best ClickFunnel is nothing unless you can get it in front of the people who need to see it. So you need to go and buy you some Facebook ads. And well, I just spent $100 with you. It took me 2 months. That's $200. Now you mean to tell me this ClickFunnel is worthless unless people can see it? I was just talking to our mentor too, who was also saying, sometimes you got to get out and meet people. We do everything electronically. We go and we'll go and we'll say, okay, we're going to go and do this, or we're going to go and do that. And we're going to send out this email, and we're going to make this phone call, and we're going to post this on Instagram and LinkedIn and TikTok and Threads and Facebook. But everybody's doing that. Everybody's posting on LinkedIn, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it now, and everything. But it's one of those things where if you don't get out and make that connection, that relationship, that's what's important, even today. And, oh, John, thank you. Love you too, man. John was on our show a few days ago. We're going to have him back. Let me tell you about this guy right here. Segue. John is the founder and the CEO of the Black Legacy Wealth Project. The name says it all. The Black Legacy Wealth Project is an organization that is dedicated to helping you create generational and sustainable wealth. And I know when I say that, people are like, well, oh my God, everybody's talking about wealth. But it's real. And he's not offering you any quick fix. He's not saying, hey, if you join the organization tomorrow, you're going to start generating wealth. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. I cannot stress that enough. I don't know how many people I have met, how many people I've been kind of approached for sales, how many people have said, I can do this, or I didn't do this, and this didn't work. And my first question is, how long did you do it? How long did you do it? People understand that they're going on social media and posting every day because they want to get on the algorithm. They understand about posting their pictures. You got women out there doing the stuff for, their phones, doing the stuff for the gram and all that stuff, and they're doing it every day because they understand you got to be consistent. But then you'll have a business owner who'll be like, I tried that a couple of days and I didn't get the results I wanted. It didn't work. Well, you only tried it for a couple of days. That's why it didn't work. You got to be consistent. And I think the biggest thing that we have is consistency because, life happens. I get it. I get it. Life happens. And there's a time when it's like, how do we put ourselves in a position to be successful? They were seeing most Americans, and I'll be honest, as you know, as an entrepreneur, and I'm just speaking to the business owners right here, real quick, if I could. If you don't produce, you don't eat. You gotta produce. If you don't produce, you don't eat. And they say most Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. Why is the system set up so we're living paycheck to paycheck? But I look and I go, why is 20% of the people control 80% of the wealth in this country? What are we doing? What are we striving for? There's got to be an end goal. If you don't have a goal for where you're trying to get to, if you don't have a not a dream, because they say a dream only works because you got to be asleep to believe it, George Carlin. If you don't have a goal, something that's attainable. I remember saying, and I was saying, I'm going to generate, because I had to change the terminology too. Let me just go there. I used to say, I'm going to make $1,000 on today. Unless I'm the U.S. Mint, I'm not making no money. Now, can I generate revenue? So I had to change my thinking because my words are going to resonate in my subconscious. My subconscious is going to play that over, and I'm going to be thinking about how do I make money? How do I make money? The next thing you know, I'm going out trying to get a copy machine and trying to put a $20 bill on there and wind up going to jail. Okay? So I cannot make money. I'm not the federal government or the U.S. Mint, but I can generate revenue. But how do I do that? Is there a tick? Is there a funnel? Is there a hack? What do I do? And I hate when I see things and people go, let me show you about the trick to doing this. And nothing should be a trick, because a trick is something that may work once, but once somebody catches on, they're like, I ain't messing with you no more. Okay? Because you sold me a bill of goods. You lied to me. You said you had the real stuff, and turns out it was fake. So we don't want to get into something that's a trick. You want to get something sustainable, something that's real. The things that we provide here, and once again, going back to OnStage Plus, they're verifiable, they work. Now, let's go back to social media. Social media is important, which is why I'm doing this every day. You think every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, I just can't wait to do a live. Sometimes it is. As you guys can see, I love to talk. I love to talk. Okay, I can talk. I'll be talking to you. We were sitting next to each other. I'll be talking. You be like, oh, my ear fell off. Oh my God. I'm sorry that happens. I'll be talking people's ear off. So I love to talk. But at the same time, some days I just don't want to get up and go live. I don't want to. I don't. But I got to, because I got to be consistent. Because some days you might not want to watch. Some days you might want something I might say resonates with you, something you can use. And every time I do this, I want it to be something you can use. But some days you're like, okay, that's David, man, I'll catch you later, man. I can't today. I get it. But you can go back and watch, because that was something I did that day, because you might need what I said yesterday tomorrow. So I got to do it. I got to let myself know it's not always for me. It's for other people. And sometimes that's what we have to do, because sometimes we'll let ourselves slide. They'll be like, I'm good today. I'm good. But I can't do that because it might not, this message might not be resonating with you today, but it might resonate with somebody tomorrow, or you might need this message the day after tomorrow. I don't know. So I got to do what I got to do. I got to get my butt up and I got to get to deliver the information. So going back to social media, being consistent, you got to be consistent. When we go live, we're going live. You may be watching me on Facebook right now. You might be watching me on LinkedIn right now. You might be watching me on YouTube right now. You might be watching me on Amazon Live right now. Those are the 4 platforms we go live on. Oh, and then of course on the OnStage Plus TV network. That's on Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon, Android TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, and Google TV. So we're going live on all those different platforms right now, right? Because we need to reach a broader market. Now, of course, in my social circles, as I mentioned before, the people that follow me, that are friends with me, they're going to probably see that pop up. Oh, David's gone live. They might look at it, they might not. They might look at it for a few seconds, they might not. I get it. Things got to happen. You got to have breakfast, you got to go to work, got to get the kids, got to watch the dog. I get it. I get it because I do too. But on television, there might be people like, what's this? I'll just, turn on inside. I'll say, well, oh, okay, what is it saying? Now I'm reaching people outside of my social circle. I'm bringing them in and I'm adding value. Now, I say that to say there are two things. I was talking once again to my team and to one of our producers, and she mentioned the fact about producers and consumers. We all know you're either consuming something or you're producing something. You are one or the other, baby, and that's it. You're one or the other. But then she said, I would say there's actually more. If you're producing, what are you producing versus what's the consuming? What's in the middle? So what you talking about, Willis? Some of y'all get that reference. And she says the product. She said people that are putting stuff on YouTube, you might think you're producing content, but for YouTube, you're just a product. She said once that product becomes valuable, she said you start to make money. They start to give you money. You start to be able to monetize. But if you are not profitable as a product to the producer, which is YouTube, which is producing the platform, she said, or you say something which they deem is not profitable in their overall scheme, that's when they demonetize your videos. They might close your account for violation terms of service. Same with Facebook. We have a friend who actually, for 48 hours, he basically couldn't post. And he was like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. But it was, once again, it was Facebook's platform. They're running the game. They can do whatever they want. That's why I don't just go live on Facebook. Because if Facebook decided, we don't like this, we want to charge for people going live or whatever they might decide, I have other opportunities. I have television. I have other platforms I'm going live on. So Facebook is not my only access. You always want to be in control of what you put out. Okay? If you're on YouTube, and I used to hate this, I'd put a video out, and after the video was over, YouTube would say, oh, if you love that, you might like this, and then show 3 other videos. So whatever I was trying to promote, my product or service, now YouTube is pushing them to somebody else that's doing similar stuff to me. So that hard-won person I was trying to get to be a client or customer of mine, YouTube just said, oh, here's 3 other people in that space. You can look at doing business with them too. Well, what the hell, YouTube? And they're like, shh, we making money. We ain't worried about you. If you don't like it, you can go to another platform. What you gonna do? I always say, when you sit at somebody's table, don't be upset at what they serve you. Okay? Here at OnStage Plus, we've built our own table, and we're looking for creators to come have a seat at it and be able to forge and create their own and guide their own destiny. Sorry, quick commercial in there. So let's look at it from that standpoint. What is your goal? What is your vision? Where are you going? There was this young lady that I know, and she was working, think about almost 3, 4 jobs. I mean, she was Ubering, she was Instacarting, she was Instacarting, she was with Amazon Flex. She was in Amazon Flex, and I think on the weekends she was I think doing babysitting for people, right? 4 jobs. So yeah, 4 jobs. And I said, are you saving to buy a home, piece of property? Are you saving to move to a different country? What are you doing? She was like, no, I'm just working. Are you saving? Well, yeah, I'm saving something, but she had no definitive goal. And sometimes when you're doing that, when you're always on this hamster wheel and working and working, at some point If you don't have a goal in mind where you can see definitive, progressive outcomes, you go, why am I doing this? You get burned out. Well, I quit that job. I couldn't do it. You start to lose track of why you started. So anything you're doing, have a goal. You're on Instagram, you're doing things. Don't just have a goal to get some stuff from Fashion Nova. Don't just have a goal because I want to be in the club and I want to be working. I knew some people, and I'm not saying who, I'm not going to say no names. God bless you. But there was a post put out, and they said, we're looking for models in LA to be in this fashion show. And so people in Bay, these people, they drove down to LA. I said, wow. I said, what they paying y'all? Well, they ain't paying them, but we will get exposure. Okay. So that was over. I said, how'd the show go? We wind up, it was a bar, had a little area. We wind up walking and had people in the bar, they were paying. And I saw some of the posts they put up, and people at the bar, talking to each other, watching the game that's behind the bartender and everything. And they doing a little fashion show, walking back here, back and forth. They done drove 4, 5, 6 hours, is it, to LA for free? For what? Exposure? Who saw you? You went on Instagram, you went live. Who saw you? And I'm not saying that you don't got to pay your dues in this business, because ultimately, if you're on social media, you're doing stuff like that in television, this is the entertainment business. I get it. It is highly competitive. How many other streaming companies are out there besides On Stage Plus? A ton. This is to use the phrase from Jerry Maguire, love that movie, we are in a business of tough competitors. This is a tough business, baby. You better have a thick skin. Okay? But I did not wake up this morning. I don't pay a fee to Apple, Amazon, Roku, Android TV, Google TV, a licensing fee every month to be on their platforms, not to try and make money on this. I got a goal. I got a plan, and I'm on a mission. So when you see me doing this, don't think I'm just doing it because I like to talk, because I do. But at the same time, I'm on a mission because I have a goal. I have an outcome. As you guys know, you know our story, where I lived. I'm from Buffalo, New York initially. That's where I was born and raised. But I came out here when I was 12 years old. I went back. I went to paramedic school. I was going to go to medical school. I have 7 MDs and 11 RNs in my family. Everybody in my family is in the medical field. That's where I was going. That was going to be my journey. God obviously had other plans for me. So as you guys know, we just bought a wonderful property up in Lake County. We loved it because it was on an acre of land. We can do filming here. We have wooded areas. We have, a private road at least. Anyway, it's beautiful. As you see, I'm in what we call our stage room. You can see back here. This is a set. That couch is actually a set. There's a crane. It's a crane right here. The head's not on it. You can see the microphone, lights, and over there's another TV you can't see, and there's another set. So this is where that's equipment, all in that rack. That's all equipment here, and there's equipment back in our garage too. I say that to say we have set it up so we are basically being able to produce money from the property. When we moved with the intent. We can't just move there because it's a great house. It's right across from the lake. We were like, how can we generate revenue? How can we generate revenue from this? Because if we can't make money from this to pay the mortgage every month, what's the point? It's going to segue for a minute here, you guys. When we were first looking at homes, and Wendella Wyndham is our realtor, and phenomenal woman. I love her. She's she's a sister from another mister for me. She really is. She has become part of our family. We've known each other, oh my God, I don't know, maybe approaching like 10 years. She loved her to death. Anyway, I say that to say, I used to call this lady, I was calling her 10, 15 times, no joke, a day. What's going on? What can we do? I'm on Zillow. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at MLS listings. She's like, okay, David, look at this. She put up with this. This process was not easy. It was not quick. I think we were looking for homes for about 8 months. About 8 months. I say that to say, we looked at one home in Death Valley. Oh yeah, we was going to Death Valley, and I'm not talking about the outskirts of Death Valley. I'm talking about the shit was in Death Valley. Do you hear me? So it was 40 minutes away from Los Angeles, I think. So we were like, well, but it was 10 acres. It was 10 acres of land. The house was what had just been like remodeled. It was beautiful. It was 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, I think, 3 baths. It was great, but it was 10 acres. But let me tell you something. So when you go into the backyard, there was no fence, there was no patio, there was no wall. You would open your patio door, and there was like a little concrete thing. You step out into like the little patio area, and you look, and way in the distance were mountains. You look to your left, way in the distance were mountains. You look to your right. Guess what? Mountains again, and a road. So that road was the one that went to Los Angeles, or the other way it went to Las Vegas, right? The average temperature in Death Valley, I think, on a daily basis is 105 degrees when I was researching. It can get up to as much as I think like 116. They have tours going through there called Death Valley tours where people will go and see how long they can endure. Matter of fact, about a month ago, a 73-year-old man was found dead from dehydration where he was on one of the paths. Why? Why? Why would you do that? I don't get it. Why would you do that? Anyway, that's what we was willing to move to. Now we didn't get that home because somebody outbid us by $100,000, and we could not match that. But look at God. I thank God because this right here, you, if you knew my story, you know the glory, as they say. This I could not imagine. I couldn't in my mind as I'm trying to contemplate and see would be the best outcome. I didn't see this. I didn't see this. But I'm glad we're here. Now, last night it was 98 degrees. It got down to I think about 84. They tell me that this past winter it snowed up here. Now, coming from New York, I'm no stranger to snow, but I was not wanting to go back to the snow. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I am 54 years old. I am not trying to be shoveling myself out. But I don't know if it's gonna snow this year. But if guess what? If it does, I'm here for it. But I say that to say we had a goal in mind. We had looked at a place and called Culterville. Now we're 2 hours from the Bay Area, 2 hours away. We looked at a place called Culterville after Death Valley, and that was 5.5 hours away. Okay, that house didn't work out because it turns out they hadn't done the permitting. They had to do some other things to take it back off the market. I was like, I'm ready to move. We were in Oakland, and we were in deep, deep East Oakland. Do you hear me? I used to joke that you knew you were approaching our house because as soon as we got close, you could hear Too Short playing. You wouldn't even see no music around. It just played. It was like just resonant in the air, So yeah, we in deep East Oakland, but we were there for like I always say 12 years, but it was actually like around 8, 9 years. Our sons, when they were starting high school, we moved to Oakland. My son, the youngest son, just graduated college. So yeah, we had been there for a minute. So when we got here, I was like, you ever see Wait and Exhale? Where they're just like, I felt, it's so funny. I'm a big sci-fi fan, and there's a show called, not Star Trek, The Orville. I love that show. But basically, there's a part in there where one of the characters says, I felt like I've been standing my whole life and I finally sat down. And I was like, that part right there. Because I felt like I had been standing my whole life and I finally sat down. You don't know. I'm saying, if you don't know my story, you don't understand the glory. But I say that to say, please have a definitive plan. And it's not hard. It's not hard. You don't, what I do, I take a piece of paper, right? Take a piece of paper. And what I'll do is I'll go and I'll mark line right down the middle, right? And I'll put pros and cons of everything I want to do. And you can do that. Sometimes the cons might outweigh the pros, but if it's really something that's worth it, the cons always go outweigh the pros. You still got to do it anyway. But get started. There's an old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. you know. So, and my producer, see? Okay. So, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So, we're going to go on. I'm going to take a break here. Our guest is going to be back in about 30 minutes. We'll be back with you guys then. But like I said, take what I said to heart and set a goal, an attainable goal, small steps. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Marcus Wright, the CEO of The Right Mentality, and you're going to love this guy's phenomenal. Live from Chicago. See, look at this. This is live, y'all. This is what happens. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye now.